Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond Borders, the global healthcare journey. I'm your host, Sagnik, and I'm really excited to welcome you to this very first episode. So, today we'll be diving into a powerful and often emotional questions that arises during the medical tourism journey. That why are people traveling for treatment? Why are families sometimes in distress making the decision to seek healthcare not just in another city, but in another country? This episode sets the foundation for the whole series, and I couldn't think of a better guest to help us unpack this than Pancras Kihimah, country head for Kenya at YourFitPath. Pancras works directly with patients seeking world-class medical care abroad, especially in India. Pancras holds his team at Kenya, and he sets the groundwork and has a front row seat to the challenges, questions, and transformations that people experience. Pancras, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Sagnik. I think this kind of conversation is extremely overdue, and it's a high time we've created space to be able to have it. So I'm looking forward to engaging the team and everybody else who's viewing tonight on this particular conversation and see how we can be able to inform them much better about medical tourism and what your Fitbit does particularly.
Yes, Pancras, that's really great. So let's begin with your own experience. So, Pancras, you've interacted with countless patients who are, seeking the services for medical tourism with your FitPath, and
Yeah.
many of whom they are going through, difficult or life-changing diagnosis. We have seen a lot of patients that are coming to India, be it for their cancer treatment or some kind of transplantation. So, what are some of the most common reasons you see people considering the treatment abroad?
Great question. Normally, it's because of so many reasons. Right on top there is actually cost, where you find that patients are trying to find uh, best-in-class treatment within the world, but then again, they cannot be able to get it locally. Number two is the quality of treatment. So you look in terms of technology and also equipment. Not so many hospitals locally are able to provide specific kind of treatment, not because we don't have qualified doctors, but because maybe we are not furnished properly in terms of equipment. So they decide that maybe going abroad would actually make more sense. And then there's the ease of access. You want to get good care. We have the equipment locally. We have the technology in some of these hospitals, but then again, it's quite hard to access them. The doctors are not as many, so it takes so long for someone to be able to get the treatment that they feel they deserve. But when people realize that they can be able to receive the same kind of treatment abroad, it's similar to someone in Kenya, for example, in the elite hospitals, for example, Karen Hospital and Nairobi Hospital, they would be quite pricey to go there. But then again, getting the alternative of being treated in a much better environment, but now abroad, it becomes much easier for them when they realize this is possible through our organization like your FitPath, where medical tourism is what we do to support patients who are looking to go abroad for treatment, then it becomes easier for them. They reach out to us, and that is where we actually provide them with the support, and they can be able to beat the delays, especially if they are having chronic illnesses.
Yeah, that's great. I mean,
Yeah,
that's such a strong point when you talk about the cost factor that comes at play, patient
yeah,
seeking, medical treatment option, along
yeah,
with the accessibility and the speed. And I think that's where your FitPath also comes at place because your FitPath provides such a rapid access for healthcare medical tourism services, be it on the documentation side, visa side, the
yeah,
logistics and transportation, right?
yeah.
So especially it comes in place when we talk about critical cases. Patient need to travel at a very period of time which is very restricted. So you work closely with patient Pancras from the very beginning of their journey. So can you just walk us through what the process looks like, the end-to-end journey for a patient, from the first contact to the time they board the flight and till they go back to Kenya?
Okay. Allow me to share documentation.
Sure, Pancras.
Yes, exactly. So basically what happens is I'm going to walk you through the journey, all the beginning from when you're still in the country. And I think that's a really amazing question because not so many people know how easy it is to be able to access medical care abroad. Now, normally what people worry about the most is, where do I start from? I'm going to a foreign country, and this is a bit scary for me. So even if I am already in a place where I'm worried about my health, now going to a foreign country where I do not know what exactly happens there becomes even more scary. So it adds to my problems. So I'm going to walk you guys down the journey and where it starts from, what exactly we do, where we come in. So number one is basically YourFitPath. What it does is we are here to transform medical tourism in Kenya and beyond the borders as well. It's not just Kenya. And then, so what we do is we reach out to the patient. We tell them about what exactly we do. We give you a value proposition. We have a look at your medical documents, the ones that you get from the doctor who's treating you locally, the specialist. And then from there, we're able to speak to a specialist abroad. If you could just move the sliders, please. Yes, exactly. So ideally, we after we get the documentations, what we do is be able now to connect you with the doctors abroad. Now, if you look at the screen, our mission and vision is basically to connect affordable care globally, meaning we are bringing these experts that we've sent the documents to directly to you wherever it is you're seated in Kenya. And this means that we're bridging the gap. We're bridging the gap between you and that person, you that patient who is ailing and doesn't know where to start from, with that particular specialist in that hospitals that we've already identified and shared with you as an option of where you can get that treatment you're looking for. Now, what we also try to do is make that treatment very, very transparent. By this, what do we mean by this? We mean that by the time you live in Kenya, you already have an estimate quotation of how much it's going to cost exactly. This is not the same case with someone who is seated locally here and they want to go to a local hospital in Kenya. They will go, they will get a diagnosis, and then probably they won't be sure because probably the processes are not as open as they are abroad. Next one, please. Um, Now, in terms of services, one of the things we do, you are still in Kenya, you haven't left yet, we get you second opinion diagnosis. So this means we're able to connect you and have a consultation with our doctors abroad, our specialists abroad, until you're able to be comfortable that I know the doctor that's going to treat me because that's the person you're having a consultation with before you leave Kenya. And then now you're able to get a second opinion. Before you leave, you have an idea based on the documentations you had provided to them. They're able to help you arrive at a diagnosis and they come up with a treatment plan for you. Now, then again, we do come in where now we help you with the hospital selection. We already have a doctor. You've taken a decision on where you're going to be treated at. But then again, the hospital as well. We want to make sure that the hospital you're going to get your treatment is best in class. Normally, we do ratings. In India, we are working with nothing less than top 10 rated hospitals in India. Unless now it is a patient's decision to be able to work with a specific hospital, we normally make sure we give you the top 10 best hospitals to choose from. There is the visa assistance. That process where you've already gotten your passport or you need our assistance to get that as well. We come strongly in terms of documentation. We help you with the immigration documentations. We help you apply for those documentations. We talk to the hospital after you've chosen which hospital you want to work with. What we do is we help you with a letter to be able to fast track this particular process of the passport. It actually the government does really really support us in that, and they do recognize our letters from our hospitals. So you're able to get your passport within 4 days maximum, but normally it's within 3 days from the time at which you've made your application and your biometrics are taken. After that, we help you with applying for your visa. Normally, this takes up to 72 hours or much more, depending on how a normal person, an individual has applied. But if you let us assist you, then it means we're able to shorten that process for you by getting your visa within 24 hours, a record 24 hours. And I think this is very incredible, especially for someone who's looking to travel really quickly and get their treatment in good time. Next, next, please. Now, your medical journey. What exactly do you need? So we just ask you to share the documentations from the doctor, which normally, if you've been going for treatment in a certain place and they've already been treated and now you're planning to go to India, you already have the doctor's report already. So those are the documents we ask for. Any x-rays you have, any CT scans and those kind of reports that you get from the doctor. And then we connect you with our doctors. We help you select a hospital that has a specialist that will be able to treat you properly. And then we help you plan your journey, like I've mentioned earlier, uh, all the way from getting you your passport to be able to get you to a point where you're able to travel, booking your tickets, and making sure that when you land in India, you have a team of experts who are gonna pick you up and make sure that you actually arrive at the hospital before anything else is done. And then your evaluation process begins and we hand you over to the doctors. That is where our proper responsibility actually happens. Next slide, please. So on arrival to India, our team manages the hospital admission procedure because we are not assuming that you do know everything. You're in a foreign land, you need our support. We hold your hand all through as your FitPath. And then we have a dedicated support for you, like I've mentioned. Straight the moment you land, if your patient is looking for an ambulance to be able to pick them up from the airport to the hospital, that is where we come in now. We make sure that you don't have to worry too much about that. We arrange that for you as your FitPath. The treatment phase is the part where now we will hand you over to the doctor, and then they're able to help you through your medical journey. And then in case you need anything, our team, we have an assigned person who will be supporting you within the hospital. In case you need any kind of support, you're just happy to reach out to them within a touch of a button because they're just within the hospital, making sure that you're getting the best experience as you get your treatment. Now, post-treatment care. Once you're done with India, your doctor has decided that now you need to come back. In case you feel you still want to get in contact with your doctor and the hospital that you're working with, you're getting treatment at, it is our job to make sure that happens. We arrange this for you. In case you have documentations that were not done or paperwork that wasn't completed, it is our responsibility to make sure all this is done. And that is what we do. So our journey doesn't end the moment you're only treated, it ends the moment you say, I am feeling comfortable and I am happy to go on with my life myself. That is where now we say thank you and allow you to continue your life with fitness now. Next slide, please. Now, why choose us? Picture this. You're in Kenya, you don't know where to start. Getting the documentations of immigration can really be stressful. Now, if you're looking for a hospital in India, you have no idea exactly where to start from. You do not know the most expensive hospital. You have no idea where you can get um, best quality in terms of treatment while spending the least amount in terms of cost. That is why you choose us. You choose us because we will help the whole process be very transparent. We will give you options of hospitals and quotations to work with. We will make sure that if you have a quotation already, we can be able to get you more affordable quotations just to make sure that you get the best treatment, but no need for you to worry much about how expensive it's going to be. Because then, if it's too expensive, than locally here, then it doesn't make sense for you to travel. So our job is to make sure it's the most affordable quotation and the best hospital in the world. Next quotation, please. Next one, please. Now, what are the benefits? So we are not only talking about the benefits that the patients are getting, because apart from patients getting, for example, there's some patients that get free air travel with your FitPath. Yes, I mean that. So, for example, um, if you're looking to travel to India and probably it's your quotation is rather expensive because of the kind of treatment, the regime that's going to be given to you. Our team have a look at your quotation at your FitPath and say, hey, for example, your name is Caroline. Hey, Caroline, We understand there's a lot of burden on this, and as WeFitPath, we've decided to give you support in terms of logistics. This means that air travel will be taken care of by our team, and we will also be able to help you with getting accommodation within India. And this goes for every patient that's traveling with us as a medical tourism organization. That is what we do. So that is why you need to choose us. You need to choose us because we will be able to help you arrive at a decision to get the best hospitals and the best doctor for your surgical process or whatever treatment that you're looking for in India. Now, on the side of the doctors, which is what we're looking at the screen right now, one of the things that they do is they're able to get is they get lots of training opportunities within the Indian market space, within those hospitals as well. We're able to collaborate with them in terms of branding and the facilities that they're working with. We also do collaborate with them in terms of like helping them build a reputation as a doctor and doing much more in terms of benefits that they would want us to be able to support them with. So this does not only end at us supporting the patients only, but also in terms of collaborations and incentivizing some of our doctors that we are working with. Next phase, please. Now, at this point, I think I'll just say thank you. However, I'll strongly urge you all who are watching that let's build your FitPath together. There's lots and lots of benefits for everyone who is coming on board to support us.
Thank you, Pancras, for sharing this detailed description about your FitPath and about the your FitPath service. That's
Mhm.
understanding from a point of view, from pictorial point of view, and understanding from a presentation is really beneficial.
Yeah,
What your FitPath is really doing in Kenya at the groundwork and helping patient during their entire medical tourism journey. So,
yeah.
given Pancras, how the sensitive healthcare decisions are, especially when patients are considering traveling such long distances for treatment, how important do you think trust building in this entire process is? In your experience, what are some of the biggest factors that help build that trust between a patient and a healthcare facilitator like your FitPath?
So number one is what the one thing that we've mentioned, which is transparency. From the word go, we try to be as transparent as possible. So by this I mean, at no point as your feedback will we ever ask you for any money. Will we ever ask you to pay to us any amount of money? Instead, we come out strongly, even financially, to be able to support some of the patients, and that is why we are able to provide logistic support to some of the patients who are looking to travel, meaning we are getting you the air ticket, and then for the patient particularly, and then we are also able to go deep into our pockets and say, hey, let's lower that cost for you. We will be able to give you accommodation at least for a month, so that now you don't have to worry about this and you can have a peace of mind when you're getting your treatment. So when we reach out to our patients, this is exactly what we do. We only ask for your um, medical reports from your doctor. We help you through the process. And I think all through that journey while we're assisting you, most of the patients that we're working with, they ideally just feel like we are genuinely here to help them, unlike probably other people who would want you to part with a certain amount of money so that now they can be able to help you. Consultation fees, transport fees, and those kind of funny fees that probably are quite unnecessary when a patient is already struggling to raise a lot of money for their own treatment. Those are my thoughts.
That's really considering from a patient point of view, that's really helpful for a patient, considering the transparency that your FitPath builds in the entire process.
Yeah.
Pancras, when we talk about transparency, the transparency connects with another aspect, that is the challenges that a patient face. Sometimes medical tourism industry poses some kind of challenges for a patient when they are traveling or when they're seeking treatment abroad. So how does the Kenyan team, and especially your team, comes in place, step in to support, guide, and smoothen that entire experience for a patient?
So one thing we do understand is for every patient who's looking for treatment, one thing that is very important for us, we recognize, is the speed. So there's a sense of urgency here. So responding fast makes a lot of sense because they're not coming to you because they're comfortable. They're coming to you because they're trying to either stay alive or they're trying to keep someone in good health. They're not doing very well. So that is one of the things we do. So we respond with a lot of speed. And then number two, we're also cognizant of the fact that many a times these patients have gone through so many hands. And what they are feeling right now is some of them are even losing hope because they do not know the steps to follow. So for us to make sure that they're comfortable, what we do is internally we have a team of developers, business developers, caregivers. Those caregivers are the ones that hold your hand all through the journey. So we have everyone assigned to you to make sure that you are taken care of, you and your caregiver are taken care of all through the journey. So you don't have to struggle with whatever information you're looking for. We are here to make it easy for you. The patient experience all through the journey is what is important to us. And then again, providing transparency, that is where we're able now to make things much easier for the patient. Thanks, Agnik.
Yeah. Thanks, Pancras. And that's, I think, a truly impactful work understanding. So, if we take a step back, Pancras, and look at a bigger picture from your perspective, where do you see the medical tourism industry is heading in the next 5 to 10 years? Is there any major trends or challenges you think will shape the future of how patient will seek care across border? And being yourself from a country like Kenya, so you can give this particular question reference in terms of Kenya so that it becomes better for the Kenyan audience to understand.
Um, Generally, in the next couple of years, okay, first of all, it's good to understand that currently the number of patients who are traveling abroad from Kenya, we're exporting about between 10 and 15,000 Kenyans every single year traveling abroad for treatment. And this is quite a substantial number. In the next couple of years, this trajectory, it keeps on increasing by the day, meaning more lifestyle diseases because of how we're living our life generally, the foodstuffs that we're consuming, and generally those kind of things. So unless this changes, then it means then the trajectory keeps on going up. So with that said, the only way that then patients will be able to afford and be able to access this kind of treatments abroad is through medical tourism organization. And your FitPath is coming in extremely strongly to be able to support these patients. And most importantly as well is being able to know that we are not here to make money. What we're here to do is to make sure that the well-being of your patient is fast-tracked. Their journey back to fitness is what is important. So we are hoping that this number can go down, but then again, we have so little control over how people behave, and then eventually they become sick. So what we're thinking is if the numbers stay the same, then it means we have a lot of work to do and to be able to support the Kenyan market itself. But then again, looking at different categories, for example, the oncology category, which is leading in terms of the number of patients we're exporting outside, pediatric cardiology cases as well, which is second most, I think, exported. So in terms of oncology, we have the three leading ones. Number one is the breast cancer, and then we have cervical cancer, and then we also have prostate cancer. Away from oncology, we have the cardiology as well, where now we're exporting a lot of pediatric cases to India as well. And then there's obviously orthopedic surgery, where now those are complex surgeries sometimes where they cannot be done locally here. We are hoping that with medical tourism, we can be able to help as many patients as possible, just to make sure that they're also enjoying life and they're able to come back to fitness and possibly just interact with other people normally, and also for smaller children who need treatment with cardiology cases and other cases that we are exporting right now. Yes, certainly.
That's great, Pancras.
Yeah,
Beautifully said. I mean, the entire conversation, understanding about medical tourism and industry
yeah,
from a point of view of healthcare facilitator and a patient was really wonderful.
yeah,
So, Pancras, coming to the final question before we wrap up. So,
yeah.
what's one piece of advice you'd like to give someone who is going to consider a medical travel for themselves or a loved one?
Sorry, ask that again, please.
Yeah, so I was telling that you just need to say like a final question before we wrap up. That's what's the one piece of advice you'd like to give to someone who is considering medical travel for themselves or for a loved one?
Uh, so the one advice that I would give to anyone who's looking to travel, number one is get as much information as you need. Don't just listen to anyone who's telling you go to this particular hospital, that particular hospital. Do enough research by yourself. Whatever names that are being floated out there in terms of hospitals and caregivers out there, you have a huge responsibility to make sure that your patient is being treated at a facility that is reputable. Number one, it's also rated properly in terms of the service that they do provide, and you can be able to easily account for where you're taking them. Now, at YourFitPath, what we do is we provide this kind of assistance. We don't only help you through the journey and logistics only. We make sure you stay in the best place there. So in case of a problem, then someone is able to reach out to us and say, our patient traveled with you, we are not able to find them. Please let us know where they're staying, so that those kind of things. So we are accountable. Um, we help you get the right information, the best specialist, the best hospitals. So we're guiding you through all that. So if you're looking to take a patient to India, do a lot of thorough investigation yourself. It is a foreign land, yes, but then again, we are here to support you. So the first step for you would be reach out to YourFitPath. Let us know what you need. We are not going to charge you anything. This is all free information that we provide and consultation as well. Reach out to us. Ask us about quotations for specific treatment. Just get your reports ready, and we'll be able to provide you with this information for free. Away from that, ask us about logistics. How much does it cost to get to India with air travel? This can be able to change sometimes depending on seasons, but that is what we're here to do, to be able to provide you with the most affordable option, while also getting you're able to enjoy your trip for treatment together with your patient. For example, we help you find flights that are direct instead of struggling with a patient and then you're forced to have a to have a layover somewhere in an airport simply because you're waiting to connect with a very sick person. That's where we come in and make sure that the flight you're taking is a direct flight to whatever destination you're going to your hospital. So we urge you, talk to us, ask us all the relevant questions. It's going to cost you absolutely nothing, but eventually you will be able to benefit by letting us ease the.
Thank you, Pancras. I mean, for joining us today. The entire conversation that we had regarding medical tourism was really helpful, and this has truly been an inspiring and a insightful conversation, from understanding the practical aspects of seeking cross-border medical care to hearing the deeply personal stories that make medical tourism so meaningful. Today's discussion really brought it all into focus. And for all our listeners, if you or someone you know is considering traveling abroad for medical treatment, remember you are not alone on this journey. There are trusted resources, dedicated experts, and strong communities ready to guide and support you every step of the way. And Beyond Borders is such a podcast series who is proud to be one of the resources helping bridge the gap between patient and world class healthcare opportunities. At Your Fit Path, we are committed to making the healthcare accessible, affordable, and transparent. Beyond this podcast, we host regular webinars where we try to bring together medical experts, patient ambassadors, and healthcare leaders to discuss important topics, from choosing the right hospital and understanding different treatments to patient success stories and updates on medical tourism trends. So, if you are looking to dive deeper into the world of international healthcare, our webinars do play a very important part of a fantastic opportunity to learn, ask questions, and connect with people who have been through the journey themselves. Be sure to follow us for the upcoming webinar announcements and more powerful conversation with doctors, patients, and industry experts. And we are here to make sure that wherever you are in the world, you always have access to the best information, support, and care. Until next time, stay informed, stay connected, and most importantly, stay hopeful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Sagnik.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Precious.
Yeah, thank you, the viewers, as well, for giving us an opportunity to be able to talk to you and inform you more about your FitPath and the medical tourism environment and how we can be able to support you. Remember, this is not just a medical journey. It's not just a medical decision. This is an emotional journey for you, the caregiver, and the patient as well. So let us support you as your FitPath all through your journey back to fitness. Thank you very much. Thanks, Agnik.